Oh, hey! Hey, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. Happy New Year again. Just trying to figure out the mechanism of this mower deck. See how I can get it to, work right. Apparently, as you guys know from my last 2 episodes of this thing, every time the engine's on, the blades are already engaged. The way this MTD is made is that this height handle, right? Once it's on the very top, it kind of moves forward, right? So that the deck belt is loose. But the minute that you take it from the top notch to the second notch, it moves back about 1 inch. Therefore, putting tension on the belt and turning the blades. That's how it works. But given the way that this deck looks, he's crashed into a bunch of curbs for sure. There's like 1, 2, 3, it's like 4 big dents. Like he just ramming into poles and stuff, you know? So the deck has been pushed back. Brackets and hangers may have been bent. And that causes probably that 1 inch that it needs of slack to prevent this deck belt from being tight when it's on the very top lever. So I have to kind of figure it out. I have a feeling I might have to remove the deck just to check out all the hangers and stuff because it's really difficult to see anything down here, you know? Oh, so I wanted to say, congratulations to Mando Mowers, who won my Lucas Oil Products giveaway. His name is Armando, so Mondo. Makes sense. He lives in New Jersey. And he sent me his address, and I'll be sending Armando out his swag box probably later, you know. So I wanted to tell you something. So you guys remember from my last episode, I was trying to get that Snow Commander started for this nut up in Westchester who wanted to buy it, right? And he wanted me to deliver it too. I'm not, I didn't really want to deliver it, but money's money, right? If he, offered enough money, I might have done it. But either way, the reason why it wouldn't start wasn't because I flooded it. Was because it wasn't getting any spark. So I disconnected the ignition switch thing, just to make sure. Still wouldn't start. So it happened to me once before. Out of the 11 Snow Commanders that I got, there was one that had a bad coil. They all worked at one time. I don't know what causes coils to go bad. If you guys could let me know what causes ignition coils to go bad, I'd love to know, Anyway, this one appears to be bad. I ordered one on eBay, a Chinese copy, I think for like $12 or something. It's pretty cheap, So I'll wait for that thing to get here, In the meantime, though, I had told the guy that it wouldn't start because it's probably the coil. So, being the nice guy that I am, I know my buddy Jason Pate of Pate's Performance. He has a Snow Commander too. So I said, hey, here's my friend Jason's number. He lives around the same place I do. He might deliver for you, but you have to pay him a big fee, He's like, I don't care. I just want it. I'm like, okay. So I gave him Jason's number, and they got together, and Jason got a score. So, hey, if I can't make the sale, I'm going to share the opportunity and the lead with my buddy Jason over at Pate's Performance. Go check him out on YouTube. Anyway, yeah, so looks like I'm going to have to be underground here for a while looking at how this damn thing works. This is the front of the deck. Notice that there's a big there, and there. So this dude ran into something really hard enough to make such a distinct bend, you know what I'm saying? I mean, fast, too. Boom! Like that. So, I'm going to put this down like here so you can see. I'm using that free tripod I got from the Ring LED light. And like I said, it's good for low shots like this. So look, it's at the highest level right here. You see how when I put it up, it goes forward, right? See, it goes forward. So that's the highest level. I want this thing to be as forward as possible so that it has the most slack on the belt. The minute I remove it from the top lever to the bottom one, it moves back that inch or two, right? Almost like 2 inches, right? And that's what puts the tension on the belt and drives the blades. But even right now, when it's like this, it's still too back, and it'll put tension on the blades, and so when the engine's running, the blades will spin a little bit, you know? When it's off the top one and it goes down, like I said, it pulls back a little, and then it starts to go down to the height that you want. So I think the best way for me to figure all this stuff out is to remove the deck altogether and try to figure out the hangers and stuff. If you look at this part here, the guy who owned it last had tried to bend this thing here forward to give it a little bit more space, but it obviously doesn't work. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna remove the deck. Fun, fun, fun. But before that, I'm gonna do a real quick mailbag here. So like I told you before, I ran out of fuel shutoff valves for, I just used them all. You know, I had so many lawn tractors this year that, you know, I bought a bulk of 10 or 20 of them and used them all. So I went and bought some more. This is so cheap, man. 20 of them for like $6. You know, I thought it was from China because you know, I was expecting to wait like 3 weeks to a month for them, but it came today. It came in like 3 days. It's pretty amazing. 10 or 20, I forget. I think it was 10. 10, but it came with the hose clamps. Sometimes you can get 10 for super cheap, but it didn't come with hose clamps. Well, you need hose clamps, you know what I mean? So I paid a little extra for the hose clamps. It's well worth it. Still, it's super cheap, man. And I got this package from one of my, I want to say, YouTube subscribers. The Outdoor Power Guy on YouTube. One word. The Outdoor Power Guy on YouTube. His name's Mike. He owns a dealership, I believe. A mower dealership. He said that he saw that video that I had on the Troy-Bilt where I needed the 6-star mower blades, right? And I didn't have it, so I had to adapt it and the spindles, and I stripped the bolt and all that stuff, and that's why it took me like 9 episodes to get that one going. Well, this sweetheart of a guy, he saw that video and he says, "Hey Henry, I've got a couple of brand new 6-star blades that I'm never going to sell. Do you want me to send it to you?" I says, "Well, I mean, if you don't need it, I don't mind. That'd be great." So he sent it to me. Well, not brand new, but yeah, they look brand new. Mtd 6-star mower blades. It's awesome. The thing is, though, on the Troy-Bilt, I had barely successfully gotten that whole thing to work, you know, because I had stripped that second spindle again. So I got it to work by kind of grinding out the threads a little bit and making another bolt fit on there. And I know that if I tried to remove that again, I'd screw it all up for sure, you know. So I'm going to leave that as is. I have my Rodimus Prime that is also an MTD, and I believe it's also the 6-star blades. And as you guys remember from that one, I never really messed with that because I didn't really have an anticipation of using that mower to mow. It was really just, you know, utility vehicle because it's 4-wheel steering. I wanted to keep it just to drive around, whatever, for fun. So I didn't really have an anticipation of using it as a mower, you know. But because when the mower deck, while it works, it vibrates a little because I never really checked out the blades down there, you know. So I know that if I probably put some new blades on there, it would mow very well and it wouldn't vibrate anymore. So I'll use this for the Rodimus Prime whenever I get around to it. But thanks, Mike, from the Outdoor Power Guy on YouTube. Go check them out. Thank you very much for your donation. I have very generous and very good subscribers. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. This will all the donations, whether it be $1 or $2 on PayPal me/mowers and blowers, whether you buy a sticker, it all helps out. You know, like you guys know, I paid $40 for this. I mean, it's like you guys paid for it for me so I can do these videos, you know. I'm going to keep the videos coming, trying to do one every day. You know, I do have some stuff to do now, so you will get a video a day. But if you can, donate parts like the Outdoor Power Guy, PayPal me/mowers and blowers. Send me $1 or $2 if you can, you know. Every little bit helps in me creating more videos. Support the channel. Buy a sticker. All the links are in the description of every video. So I'm going to remove this deck now. First I'm going to pump up that tire because it's going to throw me off if it's too low, you know. Well, you guys want to see the biggest disaster of the year? So I was just trying to figure it out, the mower deck, and I was just trying to start the engine. And when I started the engine, right, it seemed like it was going out of control with the revs. Like it just went from full throttle all the way and it would never go down. And then it just stopped. And I tried to start it again, and there was like a grinding noise. So that I came over here, look what we found. Holy cow. What a disaster. Something was up with the governor, and it just, out of control, went full revs. I have no idea why. And connecting rod just went through the block. Guys, this is a disaster. This is not a good way to start off the new year, is it? I thought I had this one in the bag, right? But guess what, fellas? This project is done-ski! I'm so disappointed that I don't know what I'm going to do now. So, is this an indication of what is going to be a great year? Not a good way to start off 2020, is it? I've actually never had this happen to me before, ever. I've actually never had a blown connecting rod happen to me. This is my first blown connecting rod ever. And I didn't do anything but just turn the key, you know? And it went, boom! I have no idea why. It was at full throttle, but I mean, it was at choke, you know? The minute I turned it on at choke, it started up. I pulled it back to get it to full throttle, and then all the way down, it wouldn't go down. It just kept on going higher and higher, and then boom! I'm so disappointed. Went through all this trouble to get it started, too. It was running pretty well. I guess these things just happen, you know. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to go and cry about it all day? Or I could just go inside and watch TV for the rest of the day. Or I could take this engine apart and go park this in the back, which is what I'm going to do. What am I going to do? Just let it sit here all day, take it up room in my garage, you know? The engine's not going to work. It's got a blown block. The only thing I can do is remove the engine and tear it apart, you know? Keep it for parts for something else. Can you believe I paid $40 for this piece of junk? I used the hyperlapse, time lapse, and I took apart the engine completely, took it off the mower. It's kind of a pain in the butt because the lower pulley was stuck onto the belt, whatever, and I just used the chisel, got the crankshaft pulley out. Couldn't get the valves out of there. They were like pressed in there, which is the reason why I can't fix that Murray, because it's the same problem. Guides are messed up, so I'm not gonna fix that either. It's too difficult to do. So I'm gonna take that one apart too eventually, you know. So what's good on this? Let me show you. Here's the crankshaft and synchro balancer. It's in good shape, pretty much untouched. Journal is good too. I know it doesn't really look like it, but when you feel it, it's smooth. So I can sell this, try to get my 40 bucks back. You know what I mean? Governor's good. Sump is good. Tappets. So the sump is good for this. So somebody might be able to use that, you know, for sure. I'm going to try to sell this too. It's a good camshaft as well. Very good. Lobes are smooth. They're not rounded. They actually look very good. Lobes look very good. So this is a good camshaft. I think maybe I can get my money back. If I can't get 40 bucks back from a camshaft, a sump, and a crankshaft and synchro balancer with governor, that's crazy. I don't think I'm going to sell this though. This is the blown connecting rod. Okay, this is where it cracked right there. Boom. Has probably good rings, right? But if you look on the side here, even though it doesn't really feel like it, actually I do kind of feel a little bit of scoring there. I'm not going to sell this to somebody because it's, you know, it doesn't look that good. It's a little scored. Even though the cylinder wall isn't that scored, I'm not going to sell this piston to somebody. It's not good enough. But I'll keep it anyway for the rings, you know. In this box is the air filter cover, the carburetor, the breather, you know, miscellaneous parts, the dipstick, the head, spark plug, the stator, the magneto, you know, all that stuff. That actually has a good head gasket too. So I'm just saving this and throwing this in a box, putting it all into my garage, not my garage, my shed, because one day I'm going to rebuild a Flathead, a 13.5 or lower. And some of these parts will come in handy. Also save the starter. I think the starter's still good. And there's your typical MTD crankshaft pulley. So I'm going to list the sump, cam, crank, synchro, and governor for sale. Try to recover my $40 for this curse of a tractor, you know? MTD sucks, okay? Anyway, I made a mess in my garage. There's a hole out of the engine block from the connecting rod. I took the governor shaft out. I took everything I could recover out of there. As you saw, the piston, the head, all that. I didn't take the valves out because they're stuck in there. Won't come out. I'm going to throw this to the curb, fellers. But I wanted you to get a nice look at it, though, first. How about that, huh? A blown connecting rod in my possession, in my care. First time ever. Hey, it's going to be a first time for everything, right? So I just took some pictures of this stuff that I was going to sell, you know. And yes, not a great start to the new year. But what are you going to do? Shit happens, right? I don't really know what happened, but I have a feeling that the governor here just, I don't know, they just lost control, whatever, and I had no control over the revving. It just went from choke to full throttle to extra full throttle, and then boom, just stopped. Next thing I know, I see a hole in the side of the engine. So try to figure out what happened. I just don't know. You know, it's a shame too, because I just got that engine running, you know. But that's why I don't like to pay money for things. You just never know. But I'm pretty sure I can recover the $40 somehow, somewhere, you know, from selling the parts and stuff. Still a decent tractor, you know what I mean? So now I'll have 4 tractors in the backyard with no engines. And I have no sign of where I'm going to get my next engine at. But sorry about that. I'm disappointed more than you guys are. I wanted to see this Cub Cadet driving around, you know, with that Flathead engine, you know. I've always said that those Flathead engines are very reliable, but here I am contradicting myself because in my possession, in my responsibility, on my watch, 13.5 Flathead, boom, connecting rod blows right in front of me, you know? Crazy. Well, I guess that's it for today. My car's blocking, so I can't even get this out of here. This may be the first tractor that I've pushed in here that I'm not driving out yet. I'm actually pushing it back out again. So I'm very disappointed in this project here, but like I said, what are you going to do, right? See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. Hey guys, support my channel, buy a sticker. Also follow me on Instagram at MowersBlowers. Check out my website, mowersblowers.com. See you guys on the next project. Have a great day. Three, two, one. Holy cow.